Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, hey,
Hey Krista, how you doing tonight?
I am good. You know what
Good.
though? I got something here I need to ask you about.
Uh-oh.
So, well, I know you like run and walk and stuff, right?
Well, I used to run.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
quick question. So they say like if you get up first thing in the morning, that is your best time to do it. Like you have energy all day, you feel great.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done that I did that on Thursday and I did that yesterday. And I'm sorry, but it backfired. Like today, I waited until about 3 o'clock this afternoon and now I feel great.
Really?
Yeah, like in the morning, it sucks. It makes me tired. Yeah. So I
Really?
want
That's weird.
to
That is
on
odd.
that.
That is odd. I mean, because what was it? I didn't do it yesterday,
Hmm.
but Thursday. Well, I guess I did do it yesterday. Thursday and Friday, I got up early and did my little workout. I'm trying to get back into it, so I didn't do too much.
Yeah.
But actually, yesterday, and I've been feeling pretty good the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think I did. So I had a knee replacement back in January 23, and I think I did too much yesterday on the bike. And last night, and when I was pedaling, it felt a little weird, like it was
Yeah.
kind of coming apart or something.
Yeah.
And last night, when I changed out of my clothes and put my shorts on, my knee was huge. So
Right. Well,
feels
my
better.
blog's Donny. She says she can't do it in the morning either. So I'm glad I'm not the only one out there because I'm like, after I did, I'm like, I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be feeling good, but I'm not. I'm tired and I want to go back to bed. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I when I was doing it in the afternoon, like I did today, like I feel great. I feel
yeah.
great right now. So
And I would always, when I was running, I don't know why, but when I said it, I sounded like Forrest Gump. When I was running, I would always do like late morning or early morning runs, and man, it felt great. It felt great.
yeah. So
But
I don't know. My son swears by it. My son works out and he's
yeah,
in the at the gym before he goes to work. He's one of those, every morning. And he's like, "Oh, you need to do it first thing when you get up, Mom." I'm like, "Okay, that works for you, but not me."
yeah, yeah. I mean, more, I guess, more often than not, people have a lot more
Yeah,
energy during the day, and I guess if you do it consistently every morning, or
yeah.
5 days a week or whatever, it'll probably start to kick in for you.
Okay,
But yeah,
it hasn't yet.
yeah.
So
Keep going though. Keep going. Just keep doing
yeah.
it. Doesn't
Oh yeah,
matter when.
for sure.
Although, like right before bed is a bad time because you know you,
Mhm.
you won't be able to sleep. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But hope everybody's doing good today. We have a pretty good we got 31 people in chat.
Yeah.
Crystal's here. Sunny, how you doing, Sunny? John Temprine is here. Scott. Hey Scott, I didn't say hi to you. You snuck in without me seeing you. Denise, how you doing? Sinfully Wicked is and this came on before. Ooh, where is it? Oh, there it is. And thank you very much, Sinfully. A member for 2 months now. That is awesome. See who else is here. Keith from 1675. He's going to be on with BMR pretty soon.
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday. Well, then okay. Then. Who else is here? A lot of people here, and there's probably a good number that aren't in chat. So I
Mhm.
appreciate you guys for coming in, and hi to everybody. I see Pam just came in. Um, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, look, my wife is here. Hi, Tammy. Hi, honey.
You're too funny.
So she's making sure I'm behaving, I guess.
There you go.
But hey, we got a fun show today. Oh, you know what? We do have a fun show today. We have Jillie Maria coming in. She's going to do some readings for everybody. So make sure that if you want a reading, say type it in chat, type it in all caps, me or I'd like a reading or something like that, so we know who to call up on. So
Or does she want them to ask a question, maybe a specific question, or I
I,
guess when she comes up, she'll answer
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll get that when she comes up. Before we bring Jillie up, we have a conference coming up. See if I get the right banner. There it is. I almost said March. September 19th and 20th, the Crossing Realms Conference. It's going to be at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri, right next door to the Ray County Museum.
Mhm.
That's going to be fun. We have a look at that lineup. So many. Look at all the guest speakers: Ken Gerhardt, Dana Stricker, Brent Thomas, Ryan Edwards, Mike Familiant, Chris Garantano, Linda Eastburn, David Glidden. I mean, those would be.
Those are special guests. Those aren't speakers.
I meant special guest.
Yeah.
I said it right in my head.
Your mouth just said differently.
The wrong way. Just with these special guests, I mean, that's a huge lineup right there. But then the speakers, Josh Hurd, Heather Mosier, William Lunsford, Lady Ann Celine, Ron Murphy, Dean Bertram, Greg Ogles, Frankie and Dan, Sir Brian Bowden, and Miguel Ramirez. I mean, that's just one heck of a lineup. So
it is. I'm pretty excited about it too.
And tickets are going pretty darn quick, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. They really are. We've sold out of the Ray County Museum already for the ghost hunt, but we do have some meet and greet left, and we have some VIP seating and just regular conference tickets left.
Yep. So head on over to Eventbrite under Blondes and Booze and get your tickets before they run out.
Yeah.
And they can get tickets at the door, right? Or the day of?
No, because we have to order chairs, remember?
Oh, that's right. I'm in charge of the chairs.
You are. So that's all on you then.
So make sure you get your orders in, your tickets bought. So
you'll save Paul a lot of headache.
Yeah. And maybe I'll keep my hair.
There you go.
So, all right. Oh, one more thing. In case you are into sports at all, I know it's completely different from paranormal, but I am doing a sports show called Zanzibar on a different channel. I know a couple people thought it was going to be on this channel, but it's on a different channel. I will put that in chat, put the link to that channel in chat. So come on over there. It's going to be on Monday nights at 6:30. We might actually do one, an extra one tomorrow night after the football games. So tune in over there to that. I'll put the chat in there later on. So
weekend, you can tell them about next weekend where we just might be, and you just might go live.
We are going to Arcadia next weekend in that's in southern Missouri, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Ironton,
Missouri.
Yeah. Who's all gonna be there with us?
So it's you and I. Brandy will be there. Kathy and Aaron from the Ray County Museum, they're coming, and Terry and Holly from After Dark Paranormal, which Terry's the one that has the ghost helmet or the ghost helmet that everybody has seen. So yeah, those are our friends. And then it was a special invite by Haunted Souls and Haunted Garage, Dan Klein and Frankie Camboletta. So yes, they invited us.
So it is going to be fun. So make sure you tune into this channel. I will probably go live if we have good enough internet. So stay tuned to that on next Saturday night. Yep. So now, without further ado, let's bring out Jillie. She is ready. Hey, Jillie.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Very glad to have you back. Show number 3 for you.
Yes. So exciting.
Yes. When I asked you a couple weeks ago if you were free to come on tonight, you jumped at it. You love doing this stuff. You love doing these readings.
I do. I really, really love sharing the Akashic records, and I love sharing. I love reading people cold because I love sharing the magic. I think it's one of those things where, because I've had a lot of people come on, it's one of those things where you get to share and you get to. I don't want to say prove it to people because I don't really care if people believe or not. But it is fun when I share things with people that there's no way I could possibly know. Like I don't know them from Adam's house cat, and I enjoy that greatly. So,
Real quick question for those people that are in chat and they don't know. Can you explain what the Akashic records are?
Sure. The Akashic records are a record of every thought and word and deed of your soul since its inception. So you can have Akashic records for events. You can have Akashic, like houses have Akashic records. Items have Akashic records. People have Akashic records. Like this podcast has its own Akashic record for each episode. Objects can have Akashic records. I've done readings on crystals. I've done readings on houses. I've done readings on land. I actually did a house 3 years ago now that I was looking to buy, and I inadvertently we were in this house and I had this like really creepy feeling, and so I was like, I'm just gonna clear it. It's not really my house, but it wasn't lived in either. So I just was like, we're just done, and cleared it, and it's really fun to go into the Akashic Records because, I mean, it is a sacred space, but it's also fun because there's a lot of things that we can gather. And even if you're not even if you're not into past lives, if you will, you can still get information about, I mean, there's a crap ton of information about our current life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had people say, oh, I don't believe in that crap. And I'm like, that's cool. You don't have to believe in it.
Right.
That's not why I do it. I do it because I like sharing and I like giving people clarity. It's been one of my favorite things since day one. My first experience with the Akashic Records was back in 2014 or 15. And I was in a brand new group on Facebook back when they were a brand new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman was doing Akashic Records readings. And I was like, sure, I'll throw questions. So I threw a question and she said, your guides are sharing blah, 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 blah. She didn't know me from Ab's House Cat, and she was spot on. And
Wow.
she also, as a Catholic, as someone who grew up Catholic and didn't believe in any of this and didn't really know anything about it at the time,
Mm-hmm.
she completely blew my mind. And so I went and did a whole bunch of research. I mean, I was like a research fiend with this stuff. I was like, oh my God, can I get certified on my own? What do I do? I was just like, went nuts.
Right.
And about 2 weeks later, another separate person came on, again, was doing an Akashic Records excuse me, reading. Yeah. And again, with, you know, you can throw a question in the chat and I will answer what I get to. And so I asked a separate question. She answered my question. And again,
Right.
she shared information that I was like, oh my God. And it's always interesting when I tune into someone's Akashic Records and get to give them information. And a lot of times, especially too, being a medium and being able to give people closure, being able to connect people and say, you know, you're on the right track. It's really important to do a thing or not do a thing. And again, you know, we all have free will. So it's like, 'cause I've had people say, what if I defy my guides? And I'm like, well, we kind of do that on the daily, unless you're living super intuitively.
Right.
Because we are still human beings. We still have free will. So if I give you a piece of information, you're like, they're telling me I need to go to the left, but I really wanted to go to the right. Go there, do it. So I like being on here. I like sharing it cold because I feel like there's also a lot of healing in knowing that you have, you know, an unseen team of people who, you know, adore you. And now again, that doesn't necessarily mean that your guides are always going to be like frilly or you know, soft spoken. They're going to match your energy. So if you're a sassy cat, if you're a super sarcastic person, if you're the kind of person who needs someone to, you know, throw F-bombs every other word, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to give you what you need to hear in order for you to get what you need.
So I have a question for you. Can your own ancestors be your guides?
Yes. I would say that happens less often than people would think, in my experience. I've been reading for about 8 years, and in my experience, our ancestors, especially our first level ancestors, so like our first generation ancestors, so like grandparents, like if your parents are deceased, parents, grandparents tend not to be, because they typically tend to be spreading their energy around whoever needs them most.
Right.
To give you an example of my experience, my grandma passed away in 2015, and she was always the arbiter in our family. She was always the, like, remembered every birthday, every anniversary, knew everybody's everything, all the things. So my grandma tends to go where she's needed.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like if I'm having a crappy day, or if I'm like losing my mind, or I have to make a big decision, she will show up and she will impart upon me what she needs. Usually she shows up as yellow roses, because my grandpa used to bring home yellow roses to her. So I will see on social pages, someone will post yellow roses, and I'm like, hey, grandma. But generally speaking, your guides are, they choose you. And it's like, and the thing is too, is you also have guides for specific things. So for example, If you are grieving a loss, you will have guides that will show up to guide you through the grief process to help you do the heavy lifting. If you have, you can also have archangels show up for you and help you as far as like if you are, for example, you got a lot going on in your life, you just had a baby, or you are doing a big move, or you've got super stress in your life and you need calm. Specific guardian angels will show up to support you in that. There's also, being able to, some people I've seen people have fairies. I've seen people have what I've referred to as mysticals, but like basically tiny energies that are just there to basically be more love and to show up and to support you.
Right.
And that is their overall, like overarching purpose, is to support you and give you clarity and guide you. And again, you're going to have I mean, you've probably all seen the meme where it's like your guardian angels, like after the 55,000th time they've told you something. I was over here doing it. Yeah.
True.
But I mean, the thing is too, is that, the more that we clear our energy, the more that we, and I think this is a really important thing right now in our 3D world, is a lot of people have a lot of anger that they don't know what to do with. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety they don't know what to do with. My encouragement to you strongly would be to allow yourself to experience it. And I would also encourage you to shift your language. So instead of saying, because your anger and your anxiety and whatever you've got is valid, okay? But I would encourage you to shift from I am angry, because when you're saying I am, that's a super powerful statement. And it speaks to who you are at your core, right? As opposed to shifting it into I am experiencing or I am feeling anger, resentment, grief, whatever. Because here's the thing, that allows the energy and motion, the emotion of it all, to move through you instead of becoming part of who you are. Because when anger becomes part of who you are, or resentment, or shame or whatever, when we say I am guilty, I am ashamed, I am angry, it becomes part of who we are. And so letting go of something that has become part of our identity gets really hard. Because the other thing I encourage people into is one of my favorite questions that I got asked by my therapist at one point, and also in college in a poli-sci class, was, what if you're wrong?
Yeah.
What if you're wrong? Because a lot of us have a lot of people don't realize, and I did not realize until someone told me, but being right, needing to be right, and especially if you have a death grip around it and you're not willing to consider anything else, is actually a trauma response.
Wow.
And it goes into the space of like, what if I'm wrong? Right? Because what if you're wrong about this? Then people would move into the space of what else oh my God, what else am I wrong about? Sure. And I remember when my therapist asked me this question, she said, what if you're wrong? And at that point I was like, well, no, because that person was a jerk. And I was in this whole huge story about how I was a victim and this person was this way. And there was no moving me off that story. And she says to me, how exhausting is it to hold on to that story? And she's like, she asked me at the last minute of our session, she goes, that's our time. I want you to consider this next week. How exhausting is holding on to that story? How exhausting is the need to be right? And here's the thing is, to bring this back around to the current piece, is your intuition isn't out there. Everybody has intuition. Some people call it a gut feeling. Some people call it, I've had people call it, their sixth sense. It is, but I've had people say, I just have a notion. And I tell people, I'm like, have you ever, you're getting ready to leave your house and you are in the driveway and you're backing out of your driveway and you go, oh my God, did I turn the curling iron off? Oh my God, did I turn the space heater off? Oh my God, did I turn the coffee maker off? All of that's actually your intuition. And I actually had somebody about 2-ish years ago who relayed a story to me and said, I was leaving, I was like 10 minutes late, and I was backing out of my driveway, and I put the car in park, and I run back in my house because I thought I left the coffee maker on.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I come back out, and I'm, yelling at myself. The coffee maker was not on. And she said, I unplugged the coffee maker, and I locked the door again, reset the security system, leave my house. And as I'm driving my normal route to work, she says, I see lights and sirens ahead of me.
Wow.
And she gets to where she would normally have gone. She said, I would have been in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I would have just been in the middle of a 3-car wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it was she said, it was nasty. And I'm sitting there. She said, as I'm driving past the reroute of the traffic and I'm driving past it, she said, and I'm getting chills talking about it. She said, thank you. Thank you for making me think that my coffee maker was still on. I don't know what you are. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for that delaying me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have been in the middle of this.
Absolutely.
I had someone last year or so come on and tell me that they were driving to work one day. This was in Colorado. They were driving to work one day, and someone told her, she was in the car by herself, something told her to stop and get gas. She didn't need gas, but something told her to stop and get gas or stop at this gas station. She wasn't going to, but she eventually got over and she went into that gas station. And if she wouldn't have, there was an accident up ahead, and she would have been in that accident as well. So yeah.
No, I think that's always, the stories are always really cool because, it's like a lot of times people need, and I tell people, like, you're not going to have proof if you want to believe or you don't want to believe. A lot of times we have things happen to us, and multiple times before we go, okay, maybe there's something, like, because the one-off, you're like, it's just a one-off thing. And my favorite powerful example of that is hearing the third hand from a friend of mine that on 9/11, there was a woman that was on a plane and she lost something. She couldn't figure out. She was missing something. And she was like, no, I can't. I need this. I need to get off the plane. Mm-hmm. And she said, every fiber of my being told me to get off this plane. And they were about to, 2 minutes, so we're going to close the door, and people were getting situated. She could not find the thing that she was missing. So she grabs all of her stuff. She grabs her carry-on bags, grabs all of her stuff, gets off the plane, and they're like, well, you can't reboard. She's like, no problem. So she gets off the plane, and she's sitting there, and she's like, I'll rebook. They are pulling the plane back from the airport. And she finds the thing that she was looking for. It had fallen down her shirt. And she was like, I'll book another flight. It's no problem. Not 20, 25 minutes after that plane went at the World Trade Center.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was like, I didn't know anything other than I needed to get off that plane. Mm-hmm. And so when I tell people, when you learn to trust your intuition, and a lot of us, especially if you were in a religious upbringing, you have a tendency to be like, I'm only allowed to connect with the divine through somebody else in church at the front of the room, as opposed to you're always connected to the divine.
Yeah.
You're always connected to your, and whether you're calling it divine intervention, whether you're calling it a sixth sense, whether you're calling it a gut feeling, it's all really the same thing. And my, deepest encouragement to you is to be open to it. And again, if you're on this live and you are like, I don't believe in any of this crap, that's cool. Mm-hmm. It's I just love connecting people. I love to be able to read people. I love to be able to support people. And I love to be able to let people know that their loved ones are, proud of them, happy for them, right there with them, etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Keith. Both are very much appreciated. Yeah, that's awesome. And I have 2 ways that I can get on the highway, going to work, right by my house. One is, Krista knows, 55 and 270 area here in St. Louis. The one is kind of hard to get over to stay on 55. Especially early in the morning, it's busy and I don't want to be crossing too many lanes. The other one takes me another route. And a couple times I've forgotten to go one way or the other. And I'm thinking, was that a good idea? Should I have did I mess up or something? And everything's turned out fine.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, we go ahead and I've seen some people have already asked the questions.
Cool.
We have them starred. We will get to them. So let's get this first one. This one is from my blog, Sunny. What is my career path and how many months will this kick in? She commented later on that she is looking for a career change.
Okay. Wow, you guys are pounding fists on tables and saying they want you to focus on soft skills. So things that you wouldn't necessarily, they're saying the things that you love to do, but that you wouldn't necessarily think to put on a resume. They're saying to focus on your soft skills. They're also showing me blooming flowers, so I feel like you've got an opportunity to. They're also saying very loudly yes to a career change. They're saying bored panda, so they're making me feel like you're very bored. You've maxed out whatever you're doing in your current path. And they're also saying there's so much opportunity to help people in a new field. And they're also saying to help yourself as well. They're saying don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth. Just because you're quote unquote new to it doesn't mean that we devalue ourselves. They're also making me feel like your soft skills are what make you valuable as you transition into this new space. As far as timing, let's see because typically the guides don't really have a sense of timing like calendars like we do. But let's see if they're going to be able to give us a sense of like a target, the cone of uncertainty, if you will. It feels like summer. It feels like midsummer. Okay. So they're making me feel like there's an offer coming midsummer. And they're making me feel like there's a glimpse of what you'll be doing coming to you. They're also saying non-traditional. So they're making me feel like there might be a kind of either a side gig or a an unexpected opportunity that won't be the job, but it feels like it's going to be a kind of a mental shift for you as far as like, yeah, these soft skills that I have are valuable. And it's not just how I like whatever your title is. They're saying, see if you can mentally shift out of titles so much. In other words, instead of being like the director of such and such a thing or whatever it is that you currently do, see if you can shift yourself in the space of, especially if you want to set affirmations around this or like speaking into like, I'm the new such and such at whatever. See if you can shift it out of like, I'm the director of so and so, as opposed to like, I support people in whatever, because it's like a slow, really like tiny dial shift, but it also opens you up to new job ideas and new pathways as far as what you want to do. And I'm also here. They're also showing me you with a megaphone. So don't be afraid to tell people around you, hey, I'm looking to shift career paths. I feel like you're already doing that, but they're saying more, bigger, wider. So like telling more people that you are looking to use your skills in whatever to, shift careers into this thing. You're really jazzed and pumped about doing it. Your past does matter. Again, as far as the soft skills, like the deliverables and the things that brought you joy in the current job. Let me know if that makes sense for you.
Awesome.
Good job. Keith had one. Not sure what to ask. I'd be happy if Jillie picks up on anything. Thanks in advance.
Okay, let's see. Keith, let's see. Not sure if it's you or somebody else, but I'm hearing muddied waters, and they're showing me a hand blender in a creek, like a body of water. Like it's flowing, and it's like almost like either you or someone around you is unnecessarily churning up the waters. And I'm hearing let them talk about it, but then asking what would it take to get resolution so that you can move on. Because it feels like someone around you is either you or someone around you is going through some things, like some past stuff that's unresolved is coming up. And you guys are saying, yeah, the emotions are all valid for everyone involved. Their experience matters. And asking what do you want or what do they want, get as specific as you can. And then as much as you can, give that to them. It feels like it's outside of you. Whether it's attention or an apology or support. It feels like it might be just support, like validating that the person, I see where you experienced that, and I'm really sorry, whatever. And I feel like it also amplifies and it puts a relationship that feels close to you into a new, I'm hearing stratosphere, so I feel like it up-levels the relationship because there's a new level of honesty and vulnerability. And I feel like that's indeliberate. That feels like it's kind of oh crap, I shared that. If we walk through something with somebody and then we're like, only we experienced it. And so therefore it gives us a whole new level of togetherness. Let me know if that makes sense for you.
And actually, if you guys could, if it does make sense for you, post that in chat, and because we'll see that, and Jillie will see it too. So that's always cool to see that.
Yeah.
Now, Sinfully Wicked has one as well, and she has been, I guess she's kind of a medium or an empath or something, because she's noticed my mom in the room here with me a couple times on a couple of shows. She's sent me messages outside of this and said, you're not alone in your room. So, and she would like a general reading.
Okay. They're showing me you with your foot on a step. They're showing me you with this is interesting. So they're showing me you with your foot this detail seems to matter a lot. You are wearing a Victorian boot. So it's laced up, it's very ornate. You had money in a prior life. Like whatever was a lot of money back then. They're only showing me the boot, like laced up, super ornate, and they're showing me your foot on a it looks like a stone step. They keep saying ancient. They're saying don't be afraid to take the next step. They're also saying you don't have to stay there. So they're making me feel like you're, it's almost like, if you're like waiting to go like on a run, or you're waiting to like take off and you're like, you've got your foot there and you're like ready to go, but you're looking behind you to make sure everyone that's coming with you or your group or whatever is there with you at the same time. They're saying you don't have to wait. They're saying you can go, they'll catch up. You guys are also saying we've got you. They're saying the next opportunity that arises, take it. They're also clapping wildly for you. They're also telling me that there's something about imposter syndrome, and they're saying you're ready to step into the next iteration of your life. And they're saying they don't have to believe you as long as you believe you. And let me see. There's not a piece. I'm just waiting for it to drop. Okay, so they're showing me they're showing me a very dimly lit pathway. Like they're showing me like they show you like light up the step, like the next step on this pathway, and light up the next step. And when they show you looking up and like straight forward, when you look down, you can see the step. When you look straight forward, it's black. And they're saying you don't have to see the whole path. You just need to see the next step and take it.
Mm-hmm.
And that also feels like it might be for somebody else as well. So let me know if that makes sense for you.
So Sunny, she had the career change. She said, I train people for a living. I absolutely love working with people one-on-one. I believe I will still work with people, but not in the same career field. Thank you very much.
Yes, 100%. And they're saying it's your choice. I mean, the thing is training. I mean, because training people is such a valuable skill. And let me just say, in 2025, training people to do things well and completely. I never thought in my lifetime that I would actually say that about things, but holy crap, the number of people that I see just doing half-ass work and just like the very bare minimum and like, I deserve to be paid $30 an hour to give you a coffee. I'm like,
yep.
No. So being able to train people fully, and they're also saying that they're showing me you hugging. So they're like making me feel like you love on people as you train them and like affirm them. And that's what I'm talking about with soft skills, is being able to lift people up and move them forward. Like it's a feather in your cap when people get promoted or when they get loved on because you train them to do the job with excellence and excel.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yep. Can you hear my dog snoring? I'm just asking you if I need to mute myself. He's laying right next to me snoring.
I can't hear your dog, but I heard your cat earlier. Was your cat near you?
Yeah, she walked through here.
Okay, I thought I heard your cat.
Okay. Just making sure you guys can't hear my dog, otherwise I was going to mute myself.
I don't know if anybody caught Blondes and Booze last night. I'm sure most of you guys did. Your cat for the longest time was sitting right next to you, staring into the camera. I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
She does that. I'm telling you, she's crazy hilarious. Cat.
Yeah. Wendy had one. What does my spirit need me to know right now for my highest good?
Oh, that's always a fun question. Okay. These are always fun. You guys are saying I wouldn't say it's a reprimand. They're saying to get off your high horse. They're saying you are right. There's something that you are correct about. They're saying you're absolutely correct. And they're showing me a gavel. So like you would be found, to be the one that would be correct. They would side with you. They are siding with you. But they're also making me feel like whatever the situation is, they're making me feel like you're talking to a brick wall. They're making me feel like, yes, you are correct. But they're also making me feel like you're dry. They're also showing me you bang your head against a brick wall. So they're making me feel like you're getting a bloody forehead for somebody who it's like, you're not wrong. Mm-hmm. But they're also making me feel like the other person, I'm hearing would have to go deeper than they're willing to go if they admitted that you were correct. And they're being very succinct with that, which makes me feel like there's a detail somewhere in here that there's a detail in there that I feel like if we dove into that detail, if we were willing, because it feels like you're walking around. It's almost like you're circling the drain as opposed to like, let's just talk about the elephant in the room and get it and like really talk about it. Okay, as soon as I said that, like everything went, so it's like everything just flowed. As soon as I said that, there's something there's a detail that's an elephant in the room. And if you're willing to like really talk that, like just name it, say it, I feel like it resolves everything pretty quickly. And you can both be right.
Interesting. All right. For more of Jillie, please head over to her website, jilliemaria.com. Very easy to remember too. So can't say you forgot it.
That's what was the attempt. It's about to get up. It's about to get an overhaul. So yes, but it's yes, easy to remember. Just my name.
Yeah.
Button 68. Would love to hear from my mom or dad. How do you know how many spirit guides you have?
You ask. The smallest I've ever seen is someone having 2. The most I've ever had someone's have was 8 permanent ones, 11 total, because they had 3 that were with them because they were grieving a suicide that they thought the person thought they were responsible for, which they were not responsible for. Mom and dad. They're clapping wildly for you, so there's that. They're very proud of you. They're saying to follow your instinct. They're making me feel like you're angry about something. They're saying that the anger you're holding on to isn't serving anybody. They understand why, but they're showing me like they're doing this. So they're showing me like you're here and they're up top. And it's one of the beautiful things about having guides and loved ones like that can see a 360 is that they can see the bigger viewpoint. They can pull out and see the trees, see the entire forest, where we might just see the one tree. They keep saying that and it's your mom. She's saying, I understand why. Like she understands fully why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But she's also asking you to take the hook out of your mouth. In other words, she's making me feel like something is dragging you around, like it's a fish hook and you're being dragged. She's like, it doesn't make it okay. She's saying, we see where you were wronged. So acknowledging like that, like, yes. And also, side note, you have 5 guides. None of them are ancestors. But they're saying to do yourself a favor and let yourself they're making me feel like it would be helpful for you to just have someone to just witness you like screaming into a pillow or getting into a car together and just being like, I just need to scream and yell and like, beat the steering wheel or beat a pillow or, beat the crap out of something and just get all this energy out of my body. They're also saying your mom is also making me feel like having a good cry would be helpful for you. And it would like clear a lot of stuck dense emotion. It also brings opportunities to you. And again, your mom's back to clapping. Your mom was clapping wildly for you. I always love seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah. You did one for me that my grandmother showed herself to you. And I think I sent you a picture of her. Maybe I don't know if I did or not.
I know.
But you said, yeah, that was her. And you got my nickname on it. Kimber. Kimber. Where is it? There it is. A general reading for me as well, please.
Okay. Kimber, what's going on? They're showing me you with a rope around your waist and you tied to something, and they're showing me with you with a really big scissors. Oh, no, wait, it's not you. It's not you. You're holding on to a rope, and there's someone with a really big scissor, and you're like not. You've retied something. So whatever this tether is, this person's cut it before, and you've retied it. They're saying time to let it go. Time to let yourself be free of the mayhem. They're saying bright sunny skies ahead as soon as you let go. And they're making me also feel like you got a lot of story around it. Like there's a lot of like spinning and a lot of overthink going on. They're also making me feel like I'm also hearing clarity comes as soon as you let go. So they're making me feel like cut ties, let the tie be cut. It's not a malicious cut. Feels really, really important.
She just commented. Did you see that, Paul?
Yeah.
Kim just commented. So yeah.
She's moving out of her ex's house right now.
Right now.
So
awesome. So cut that completely and trust that you're going to be held. I don't know if it's the exact house, but they're showing me a really pretty little house. You get to make it your own. They're showing me like they're showing me a living room that's very plush and very comforting and like holding you. And I'm also hearing warm womb space. So they're making me feel like it's like you get to make it be as warm and comforting and welcoming. And they're saying, don't beat yourself up. They're saying perfect timing. They're also saying life will go on better, like way better than before.
good.
They're saying lose the loser and all will be well. There's some clarity for you.
We've all had one of those in our lives, haven't we?
Right?
Anyway, hey,
Next.
we'll love to hear from my spirit family or any guy.
Okay. Spirit family, any guides? Let's see. The first word coming up is cordial. They're saying you don't have to be nice anymore. You can kick them to the curb. You have permission to draw lines in the sand and hold firm your boundaries. It feels like there's something where you've been it feels like you've been permitting something to either happen or continue, or they're saying you don't have to be a part of it anymore. So there's something that you definitely have been, they're saying not an active party to, but they're making me feel like they're making me feel like you've been letting things slide, and you get to say no more. You get to like put your boot down and say we're done here. And they're saying come what may. Again, this feels like a really good evening of like all will be well. Like we get to cut ties. We get to It's January, the end of our subscription. Our trial 30-day subscription is almost up. And we get to say, okay, clear it out, be done, and move, and it's going to be okay to move forward. They're also saying, Pamela, that you have very special gifts, and they're making me feel like you might be afraid to tap in. They're making me feel like you might be. They're showing me like this. So they're making me feel like you might be trepidatious about either stepping into your gifts, stepping them up. But they're saying you can just come in, like you can be intuitive or, be in your gifts and see what you see and know what you know without having to like go into Times Square and put it everywhere. Right. Because we tend to have this notion that we're looking for somebody outside of us to validate, and that's not necessary. I realized in my late 30s that I had been intuitive since I was a little kid. Like I was an empath my whole life. I was a medium since I was like 6, which means I was an empath. I was a medium my whole life.
Yeah.
But when you grow up Catholic, you're not allowed to be a medium, and everybody just thinks you have a super active imagination.
Yeah. 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 Denise had one, kind of getting back to when we were talking about our intuition.
Yes.
Denise's intuition told her to check my Chase account today. I did, and someone was using it to charge stuff. So
yes, I totally love that when we get and we do. Sometimes we get super practical notions, like you might want to just make sure that whatever's going on or not going on. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've gotten those very practical, like, hey, just FYI.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love that. I mean, I don't love that someone's invading your account, that you got hacked, but I do love that you got a notion to check it and checked it and followed it.
Yep.
Little Patty, Jillie, should I take the next step in my craft, even though I'm comfortable where I am?
So when someone says should, I always ask, is it in your best and highest interest? Is it in your best and highest interest to take the next step, even though you're comfortable where you are? They're saying you can stay where you are. You're comfortable. They're showing me, like, so they're making me feel like you can be comfortable where you are. They're just saying when it comes time to be moved, they're saying you'll know when it's time to be moved because we will shove you.
All right. Mr. G, what do you see for me this year?
I don't know if this is literal or not, but they're saying hunting. They're saying hunting, and they're also saying cave diving. They're saying cave diving, and they're saying taking on new hobbies and meeting new people. They're saying explore more. They're saying don't be afraid to color outside the lines. And they're also saying I'm hearing the word opportunity. I'm hearing the word opportunity by itself. They're saying opportunity, and then they're saying take it. So there's something coming up this year at some point that there's something coming up this year that is a unique opportunity is what they're saying. I'm just trying to let them see if they will give me more details. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they will give me all the details. They're saying if you're open to hear and you're open to receive, they're also making me feel like it's important not to care what other people think. So there's something about what other people there's something about what other people think or how other people would react. And they're saying, do what sets your heart on fire and don't worry about everybody else. And it's going to be a great year for you. They're showing me fireworks. They're showing me fireworks at the end of the year. So they're making me feel like this has a potential to be a fantastic year for you.
Very cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that one.
Me too. I'll take a fantastic year.
Yeah, no kidding. Lori Gibbs, I am specifically looking for Georgia. Apparently Georgia's on her mind. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Sorry.
You're fine.
That's how my mind works.
See, in my mind, when I hear Georgia, my mind goes to the state of Georgia. But I'm very clearly hearing this is not that. Seeing a woman with a rolling pin, and she's in an apron, and she's saying, "What took you so long?" She's saying, "I'm fine. Don't worry about me." She's laughing. She's saying that you're living your best life, and she's saying you're living your best life, even though it doesn't look like what you thought it would. Raise your hand if you're living your best life and it doesn't look anything like you thought it would. But she's saying you're on the right track. She's also saying, I need some clarity on that. She keeps saying, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. She's saying she needs to find another way to show up for you, because she keeps saying, I'm right here. I'm right here. She's saying, hold on. And she's making me feel like, she's saying, I'm going to give you chills. Will that work? She's been trying to get your attention. She feels like, and it feels like you're aware. You're very aware. You're very aware. Yes. I'm unintentionally nodding yes. So you're very aware. She is saying, don't overthink it. There's something that she feels like you might be overthinking something a little bit. And she's saying, she's saying it is what it is and it'll all be perfect. She's showing me you standing, watching either a drag. You're standing on the side of a road. She's showing you standing on the side of the road, and it looks like you're watching either a drag race or some kind of parade or something. And she's like, she wants you to just enjoy it. She wants you to live in the moment and enjoy it and take it all in. And she's also saying something is about to change dramatically for the better. And there's really yummy energy around that. So
cool.
Hope that supports you.
That's always interesting to hear that something is going to change for the better, and then know, always be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
Yes.
Kelly Sandiford would like a reading, please.
Cool. And the other thing I would say about that, and as a general thing, is when we step into the place of like something being better than we can expect or looking forward, is the more we can be detached of something being really specific, like a person, a specific job, a specific role, whatever, the more we can just be like, I'm so excited, like this or something better, and allow things to show up, the better off we are. So just that little extra point.
Gotcha.
Kelly Sandiford. Grandma is stepping forward to say I see you and I love you. She's saying pink is not your favorite color. And she's also saying, don't be afraid to tell him. There's something, and it's not related to the pink is not your favorite color. She's making me feel like there's something that someone may be trying to put on you that isn't true for you. And she's saying it's totally 100% okay for you to speak your truth, like to just say, to stand for yourself. It's totally okay to do that. She's saying you're safe to speak your truth. I love you. She also has a dog with her, little dog. She's also saying having fun skipping rope, and that feels like it might very well be metaphorical. But my spidey senses are also telling me that it wouldn't hurt you to go to Walmart or Target and buy a jump rope and just skip rope for kicks and giggles.
That's fun.
It is fun.
And our buddy Jason Finch, the Finchter. Like a
The
reading.
Finchter. Oh, excuse me. Jason Finch. I'm hearing you're tired of that and it's time to move on. I feel like there's a theme around that tonight.
Yeah.
They're saying let go of the rope. They're also showing me, so that I'm hearing let go of the rope, but they're also showing me like you're at like I'm seeing like a theater, and I'm seeing stanchions, and I'm seeing like somebody opening like this, you know, like how they have those like velvet ropes that are attached to stanchion, like those posts. And there's somebody like opening the rope and letting you in and like taking you into VIP. And they're saying, yes, go ahead and go into VIP. They're saying you let yourself be seen and heard. They're saying be your authentic self. You won't be sorry you did that. And they're also saying that it's been like, that's long overdue. It feels like being authentic to yourself. They're saying, especially around people who love you, there's something that it feels like there's either a secret or it feels like there's something that you've kept under wraps. But I'm seeing huge applause, like sharing it with people, getting the accolades, letting people in on the secrets, has very positive results. And I'm seeing you on a chair and like the chair being lifted up and you just being really praised and exalted.
You know, you mentioned this before, a lot of repeat things, time for a new change or something like that. A lot of this stuff is even resonating with me, and I haven't even asked you for one yet.
Right.
And I mean, Chris, are you feeling the same way?
Yeah.
So here's the other thing too, that I should have, not that I was remiss or whatever, but one of the things that because I've kind of been peeking at the comments between like just off, trying to keep up, so to speak. And one of the things that I want to share with you is a lot of times piggybacking, what we call piggybacking or cleat-ons happens, and something that I say for one person, you'll be like, oh my God, that resonates with me. Absolutely. Because here's the thing. Sometimes our guides will share something that we don't want to get it smack between the eyes. But if I'm saying something to Jason or to, somebody else, and you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, right. Because your mind allows you to receive it because it wasn't directed at you. Right. As opposed to it being an indictment, like, oh my God, now I got to go job hunt or whatever. Your mind's like, oh, this is really cool. Someone else is in the hot seat. This is really, and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap. Because you let it in because you weren't expecting.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, this next one's a pretty interesting one from P. Jean. She writes, my newest granddaughter seems familiar to me. Did she know her previous? It's such a strange feeling.
Yes. That's one of my favorite things is when people reincarnate between lives. Mm-hmm. And I actually knew somebody years ago a situation where somebody had passed away prior to a child being born. And the child was like 2 or something and was meeting the whole family for the first time and came in the room and was like, that's so-and-so. And they had never met them. They had never done like FaceTime, chat, any of that stuff. And it was like, we've never talked about this. It's like, you look just like so-and-so. And everybody in the room was like, because the person messaged me and was like, I just had the strangest situation happen. And I said, and she's like, is it possible that somebody reincarnated? I'm like, oh, 100%.
I totally like when PG asked that question. I kind of relate to that, not in the fact that like I have a granddaughter also who like she just like loves me, like she's all over me, like and I have a couple other grandsons, and of course like they love me, but I mean this little girl, like she is like, I don't know, there's something about this kid, so I totally relate to PG also,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's you've had multiple past lives together. And it's always fun when you didn't serve the same purpose or the same, like, I don't want to say that's not the right verbiage, when you weren't in the same thing. So it's not granddaughter, grandmother. All they want to say is that you've had previous past lives together. And this is the one where you adore her and you mend fences. And I don't think that there's anything like necessarily like you need to do to mend fences. It's just that you get to, because you are the grandma or the meme or the mimi or whatever you call yourself, you get to adore her because that's how the roles work. And that automatically grows that bond. And yes, it is a strange feeling when you're, it's like deja vu, but it's like magnified by like 100. You're like, I know this is familiar. Like this isn't weird.
Yeah.
Deja vu all over again.
Yeah, she comments on that. She says, I have 12 grandkids now. She's the first I recognized. I knew her. So that's really cool.
Yes. That's awesome.
Diana Boss. Jillie, welcome. Do you see anything about me?
Let's see. Love the hair in that picture, by the way.
I was just going to say, that's cool hair.
I love that hair.
I don't think I could pull that off, but cool.
No, I can't do stuff like that to my super fine thin hair anymore. But I always love it when people have hair, and I always compliment them. Like, I love hair. Let's see. You have angelic beings around you. Wow. Okay. So they're saying the overthink has got to stop. So they're making me feel like you overanalyze and you overthink. They're saying the terror around getting it wrong is unfounded. They're saying go about your business carefree, footloose and fancy free. Everything will be all right. They're also showing me showing me a chessboard, and it's crystal, which seems to matter. And they're saying your move. So they're making me feel like, and they're actually showing me like the pathway, the exact pathway is lit up. So like just follow that pathway. They're saying trust your guts, trust your instinct. They're also making me feel like you might be new to your gifts. They're making me feel like you might be new to your intuitive gifts and like starting in the space of like, oh wow, like now what do I do? And I wouldn't normally do this, but if you reach out to my website, there's a contact me button. If you want to put Paranormal Among Us in the subject line, and that I did a reading for you, I'll gift you a session to see if we can't do some work around your intuition.
Awesome.
Well, very cool.
Awesome. Where is he? Little Twisted. Just a general reading, please, and thank you. Very polite.
You are welcome. Yes, very polite. Oh, I love when the guys call people out.
That's never a good sign.
Oh no, it is. They're saying a little twisted. They're saying a lot of twisted. But they're showing me you. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Gumby.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing me you twisted up like Gumby, and they're saying to unwind all of that and just be yourself. They're making me feel like you're a consummate people pleaser. And they're saying that 2025, let this be the year when you show up as yourself. And they're saying you don't have to be, they're showing me like, I love the visuals sometimes, y'all. I just love the visuals. They're showing me you like flashing in Times Square, and they're saying, no, that's not what we're talking about. They're saying be willing to acknowledge that you are, they're saying there's something special in you that deserves to be seen and heard. They're saying that it's past time to they're saying it's past time to come into who you are. And again, this piece about they keep showing me like untwisting, and like they're showing me a pretzel coming undone. And they're making me feel like they're also making me feel like you've given so many people pieces of you that you don't know who you are anymore. And they're saying it's time to just like, because I hear like hearing like I don't know who I am. Like, what do I even do with that? And they're making me feel like this is the year that you slowly come undone, and become who you're meant to be. And they're also emphasizing with support, because they're making me feel like you're really frightened. Not frightened. I don't think that's the right word. Oh, okay. They're saying that is the right word. They're making me feel like there's trepidation and fear around admitting that you need support, which P.S. anybody who's listened to this, there's no shame in your game. If I had it my way, everybody would have a third-party support person. So as a therapist, coach, healer, counselor, psychotherapist, I don't care. Every person would have somebody, because having a third party to like pull you out of reframing whatever is really important. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, so let us know if it makes sense, Twisted. He said, yes, I need help.
We all do.
Right? Every last one of us.
Right.
Cool Hand. Hi, Jillie. Could I have a general reading, please?
Sure. Let's see. Also, yes, I saw someone commenting. Yeah, I'm clearing a lot of energy. I've been doing a lot of yawning. So if that's just me, like, that's not me bored or whatever. That's just me clearing a lot of energy. And if you also see my hand going, I'm transmuting a little bit of light language as well. So doing some soul healing inadvertently. Let me see. So I feel like your word of the year, Cool Hand, is explore. They're saying go deep, go where you've never been before. You'll get great results. Let me see. They're also making me feel like partnerships, like creative endeavors, creative partnerships, collaborations will be at the fore this year and will pay dividends. They're making me feel like that's going to involve a little bit of vulnerability on your part. And again, part of vulnerability too for all of us is admitting that we want collaboration, that we want connection, and the thing is too, is like, even saying like, oh my God, I love this. I love, paranormal. I love ghosts. Even saying things like that can be, oh my God. I'm kind of shocked that we're in 2025 and that's a thing, but anyway, digressing. Don't be afraid to let your guard down and let yourself be seen, and, have that little kid joy, because it's going to help you connect with like-minded people.
Awesome.
Let
me know if that makes sense.
Awesome. We have about 15 minutes left, and I have 4 more starred, so we'll try and get to these. Should have time. Cool. Newbie. Hello, Jillie. How long do you feel it'll take for my home to sell, or any info you can tell me? Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Let's tune into your house and see what it wants to do. Let's tune into your house. So I'm feeling like if you haven't already done it, I would get a St. Joseph statue and I would bury it. Just to give it a little extra push. But I also feel like the house is showing me like bless it, or writing a letter of gratitude to the house and releasing it. Might sound silly, but when we want to release something, otherwise we want it to sell and have someone else close on it so they can have it be their house, we get to release it. So they're saying, writing a letter saying, I thank you for all the memories, thank you for the, and that sort of thing. And releasing the house with love and gratitude. They're also saying check the pictures. They're making me feel like you want to double check the listing. I feel like it sells. I'm hearing it sells relatively quickly with the right realtor and the right representation. So check the pictures, check your description, and ask a few people around you to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. Because sometimes because I will say this, there are lazy realtors in the world. And we want a house to sell fast, and we want the house to give us top dollar. We want to make sure that we have the right pictures. Let me see if there's anything else there. I feel like I keep hearing March closing. So I feel like, I mean, we're almost in February. I feel like a beginning of the March closing is in the offing. So yeah, it feels good.
Awesome. And that
Very
hit
cool.
home with her.
Awesome.
Where am I? Paula, I would like to get in line as well if there's time. Thank you.
Paula. Someone passed away that you're unwilling to let go of, or that you have not grieved. Grief is just love with nowhere to go. They're not telling me who they are, but someone is saying, celebrate my life and let me go. And they're making me feel like planting a tree or like putting a plaque on a bench or something outwardly to celebrate the person would help you in your grief process. Also, they're saying something about, they're making me feel like this part's unrelated, but they're making me feel like there's a bracelet of some variety that you are, it feels very ornate, and it feels like you are hesitant to wear it because you're afraid you're going to break it or lose it or something. But they're making me feel like that bracelet is begging to be worn. And they're saying not just for special, they're saying it's not fine china. They're saying wear the bracelet. So I hope that makes sense.
Very interesting. JG. Welcome, JG. That's a new name. Or new letters. If there's time, I'd like one, please.
They're showing me a giraffe looking over a fence. Let's see if we can get more on that, because that's an interesting visual for sure. They're making me feel like you're trying to eavesdrop or be in this, like trying to get information on a situation. They're saying it's not about you. It doesn't affect you. And they're saying it won't fall. Feels like it's the important part. It won't fall back on you. They're saying it won't fall back on you. They're showing me the giraffe like redirecting and going back to wherever it was and not looking over the fence anymore. They're saying you don't have to eavesdrop. Everything being said is in a positive, you're viewed in a very positive light. They're saying something about you don't have to wait your turn, you can go elsewhere. And they're saying it's better for your best and highest good. So I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Val, am I too late to get in line? Didn't put first request in caps.
You can't tie a giraffe to a pole in Vermont. It's illegal.
One of those weird laws.
You also can't put an ice cream cone in your pocket in North Carolina. That's illegal. Don't even ask me. I have no idea. Val.
You wonder why they had to make those laws.
I do wonder why they had, but they're there for, because somebody, yeah. They're showing me you with a pickaxe, Val. They're saying you don't have to dig. It's right there. They're making me feel like you're making something harder on yourself than it needs to be. I'm also hearing, I am so angry. I'm so angry. I can't just let it die. It doesn't feel like that's you, but it feels like it almost feels like you are taking up a cause or something for somebody that is not, and it feels like it's all consuming, and they're saying this is not your responsibility to put it down. Whoever, I'm hearing this is not justice. Someone on the other side is going on a whole rant, like a whole ass rant. They're saying the truth will come out. They're saying the truth will come out and it will all fall down. But they're making me feel like you don't have, like, this is not yours to carry. This is not yours to pick at, poke, etc. Yeah, they're making me feel like this is not your, like, they're being very insistent that this is not yours to carry. They're making me feel like the people involved, the responsible parties, are doing a pretty good job of not covering their butts and being sloppy because they think they got away with it. And that's not true at all. So, like, they're making me feel like just stand back and the dam is going to burst, and you don't want to be like, you don't want to be swooshed downstream with it. You just got to stand back, and your guys are saying, trust us, trust the universe, trust God, trust whatever power you believe in, that all will be well. They're saying it's going to take a little tiny bit of time. But they're saying not past 2025. So I'm not sure what that, if that may, hopefully that makes sense for you.
So Paula just commented, I am scared to wear it because it is too big. Discussed with my hubby about getting tattoos of the birth and death month flowers just this evening. Interesting.
That's cool.
Very interesting. Okay, we had one more here from BJ. Probably not time being late, but we squeezed it in. My father passed away in 21, but prior to that, my father lost his wedding band and we couldn't find it. Is it where we can find it so we can have it? If so, where is it?
Let's see. Is the wedding band where we can find it so we can have it? Your father's quite a character, dear. So the simple answer is yes. They're making me feel like I see boxes stacked up against a wall, and they're making me feel like you need to go through each of the boxes like methodically. And they're making me feel like you'll find the ring. Because I do see it as a neck. I do see it on a chain around somebody's neck. Doesn't mean where it is now. It means where it's going. But I feel like there's something in his papers, his possessions, etc., that will help you go through the grief process. And I'm hearing whole and complete and the ring too. So I feel like you'll have as complete a grief process as you can have, because grief processes tend to go on. However, I feel like it's a good opportunity for you to go through things and to let yourself feel what you feel and to learn more about him. And in that process, the ring will turn up. Let me know if that makes sense for you.
That's interesting. And I'll let you know if, and BJ, let me know if you do find the ring eventually, and then we can share that with Jillie. One more quick one. My wife texted me. She would like a reading for us as a couple. Can you do that as a couple?
Yes. Yes. Oh, excuse me. You're on the right track. Your love is stronger than you think it is. Very interest will suit you well. I actually see that like an arrow going like this. So I feel like the two of you each having your own interests and like filling your own cups in your own ways. So you come back together, and I'm hearing even more passion. I am hearing more segregation of activities needs to happen this year. So in other words, there's places where I feel like you kind of let either work bleed into life, or you're letting either kid stuff, work stuff that doesn't pertain to couples life, that's bleeding in a little bit. I'm also hearing other people's opinions don't matter. You guys are also being super blunt and saying have more sex.
Time for everybody to hear this. Look how red Paul's face is.
You asked for it.
Here's the thing, but here's the funny thing. You're the fourth person this year that has come out of my mouth around. That's a theme among couples this year. It's like, dude, y'all.
You should hear her laughing downstairs.
Get busy. Get to it.
All right, gotta go. See you guys. No.
Bazinga.
That was fun. That was funny. There's actually one more. We have a quick second here. Gary Spikes. Let me find it here. Hang on. Our buddy Gary. Where are you at, Gary? Will he have a hard or easy surgery, or easy or hard surgery next week? And prayers for you, Gary.
For sure.
Yes, prayers and good thoughts as you go into surgery. I mean, surgery is always difficult to an extent because the whole recovery thing and pain, and it gets worse before it gets better. I feel like they're saying, relatively speaking, easy. They are telling me that you're gonna have to walk before you run. So they're making me feel like you have a tendency to just go, and they're saying it's gonna be a couple months before you're 100%. They're saying yes, push hard in physical therapy and whatever you're doing to get back up to speed. But they're also telling me like you're not gonna be running a marathon by June.
Slow down, in other words.
Yes. Because they're making me feel like you have a really hard time with being present and slowing down. They're saying the hardest part is going to be the emotional part because I feel like you're always go, 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 go. And they're making me feel like this is going to cause you to come to presence. And there may be some things that show up for you that you've been either avoiding or not wanting to look at necessarily. And they're also saying don't beat yourself up. Everybody does it, and that's very true. But they're making me feel like you didn't know what you didn't know. And so it's a space of like coming to awareness of it, feeling the emotions, letting go of the story, taking responsibility, and they just went. So I feel like as soon as you're like, yep, I own it, I take responsibility for it, it's they're also making me feel like this is going to support you, and the surgery actually is going to support you in more ways than one in your life. It's also going to help you physically and emotionally and energetically release weight, which feels like a very good thing for you.
That is awesome. Thank you, Al. Great show. Appreciate you. All right. Jillie, this was fantastic as always. It seemed to hit home with just about everybody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and even the ones that you didn't do the readings for, I'm sure something hit home because I know a few of them that you did hit home for me. So
that's awesome. Yeah. It's hard to be like paying attention and channeling at the same time, like reading comments, but I love it when I just get to, I love it when I get to just read people cold and,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awesome stuff.
Well, we appreciate you coming back on, and
Absolutely.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And your website, I don't have it. Actually, I do have it right here. JillieMaria.com. Make sure you go over and check out her website. And
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So, all right, Jillie, thank you so much again. Krista, have a wonderful evening. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Actually, thank you, Sinfully, for being a member for 2 months. Keith from 1675, thank you so much for your super chat. Lori Gibbs for your super sticker, thank you so much. Kelly Sandiford, thank you so much. T-Bone, you rock, brother. Gifted 5 I can't even say my own name. Paranormal Paul memberships, thank you so much. And Sinfully again, thank you so much for your gifts. All right, everybody have a great night. We will get to the right thing here. Oh, where is it? There it is. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
See y'all.
Donny chose next.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.